Thanks, Russ. And hello, everyone. It has been an exciting week here at EXP as we announced our top 250 production winners here in the United States and top 50 production winners in Canada. And I am thrilled today that we are being joined by our number one solo agent in the US by volume. Chandra, welcome.
Thanks, Wendy. I really appreciate you guys inviting me to this, and I'm very excited to be part of the conversation.
Well, our pleasure and congratulations. I mean, what an amazing accomplishment. And just so that everyone listening knows, you're a solo agent. So you're not running a team, it's just you.
Correct.
Okay, and let's level set that. So just you as a solo agent did over $100 million in volume in 2024.
Correct.
Okay, well, tell us a little about yourself, Chandra. Like what market are you in? How long have you been in the business? Tell us your real estate story.
Sure. I have been in real estate for close to 8 years now.
Okay.
And I primarily serve in Washington
Mm-hmm.
as well as Texas.
Mm-hmm.
My primary business started in Washington, and then I expanded the business into Texas.
Okay.
And just like a lot of people, I started as a part-time real estate agent. I was working for Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
very high-paying job, as everybody knows.
Yes.
I was in a really good position, and then I bought my own home, and then I realized the excitement of buying a home, and I really loved how I felt when I bought my home. And I thought I should experience the same thing being on the other side. That's how my real estate journey started. And then as soon as I started working into real estate, I know a lot of agents generally have, take time to build that network and, ramp up their business. For me, it never happened that way. As soon as my business picked up really, really fast. And the first year I was in business, I sold like 60 million or 70 million
Mm-hmm.
first year. And then things started moving very, very fast. And at some point, I had to make a decision between, my corporate job versus, real estate. And I was so passionate about real estate, I had to, move into real estate as full time. And then I started doing business in Texas as well, and really enjoyed doing both the states. Both are very different markets,
Mm-hmm.
and the people that you work with are very different, and the
Mm-hmm.
clientele that you work with are also very different. So it has been really exciting. And I've
Wow.
been with EXP for 3+ years now.
Okay.
Yeah. So and really excited to be part of EXP, and I love the people I work with. So it's been fabulous.
Well, that's tremendous. Now, I think that you might have like I was looking at my notes because I want to make sure that like we really get a breakdown. Like, how many transactions did you do last year?
I think it's about 102 or three.
Yes, I scribbled that down quickly. So let's
Yeah,
just say like 100+ transactions.
correct.
And what is your average sale price approximately?
It's roughly 1 million.
Okay, 1
Yeah.
million. Okay. So and you're working between two markets.
Mhm.
How do you spend time between like two different states like that and run your business?
Yeah, I think COVID has really helped me um, where I am right now, because during COVID, we all had to move into virtual, and so we had to quickly change our business model, right? So at that time, I had to come up with innovative ideas on how to frame up my own business.
Mhm.
Because till that point, I was going for every showing, I was going for every inspection, and I was like really hands on. But during COVID, that was not possible, and also the business has ramped up so fast in COVID that I couldn't handle by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to start thinking about innovative ways on how to manage the business. So I had to come up with ways of using different, help for documentation, for some of the non customer facing tasks.
Mm-hmm.
I started using help from, different realtors and started taking help. And when I thought about expanding into another state, obviously, I have to have a similar model where I take help in different cities. For example, I do a lot of business in Seattle, a lot of business in Austin, I do a lot of business in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So, three different cities, and I can't be there everywhere, right?
Right.
So I had to figure out ways of how to set up this model that I have developed in COVID, and I expanded the same model into Austin as well as Dallas. So that's how I framed up the whole business model. And I don't have to be there on site in every city all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I do travel frequently between the three cities because obviously, I need to be learning about what is happening in each of those areas, what changes are happening in real estate, in terms of new communities coming up and new trends.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I had to be in person to be able to get that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to use that model from COVID and expand into different cities.
Got it. So, where does the majority of your business come from? Like, how do you prospect for business, especially given various markets?
Mhm. Yeah. So what happened in COVID was, I mean, I think COVID was like a boon for me in a lot of different ways for my business. So most of my business is word of mouth. It has always been that way. But then I think, you can't scale just with word of mouth. So at some point I had to think about, various ways to do it. Between the two states, the advantage I had was a lot of people were moving from Washington to Texas during COVID
Mm-hmm.
because of work from home. They didn't have to be in Seattle. Obviously, the cost of living is a lot higher in Seattle compared to Austin or Dallas. There is a lot of movement happening, and everybody asked me, "Hey, do you know?" Because they trust me, and my clients ask me, "Hey, do you know a realtor who does business in Texas?" So generally, what happens is that unless I have worked with somebody and experienced how they operate, I don't refer people
Mm-hmm.
um, without having that knowledge of how, because these clients are very trusted clients, and I want to make sure when I make a recommendation, the other person is also doing a really good job as well as myself. Yeah. So I couldn't make a lot of referrals. Then I thought, why not me? Right. So that's how the whole Texas thing started. And in terms of prospecting itself, I do have different groups that I have developed over a period of time, and I kept in touch with most of those groups are customers,
Mm-hmm.
and I keep adding whenever I have new customers into those groups,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the way I keep in touch with them. And of course, I do spend every day. I allocate some time for me to go back to those clients who have their milestones. Like, for example, if they have a birthday or an anniversary or something else is happening, I would have all of those things pop up as reminders for me, and I keep in touch with them that way as well. So those are some things that I have been doing that have been really helpful for me.
That's great. I mean, that following up and staying in touch. And you mentioned at the beginning of our conversation that you were motivated by the type of experience you wanted buyers and sellers to have. And I can tell that it means a lot to you that you create a wonderful experience for your clients, and then they want to refer you, and they, just continue to develop that relationship. So
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing that. As we wrap up, I'm curious to know if you have any advice that you would share with our EXP agents who are listening today who are growing their businesses.
So I always think there are two things that are very important. One is customer first. As a real estate agent, you will have a lot of situations where if you have to make a decision where it either benefits your customer or yourself. it doesn't benefit both of you at the same time. So you'll have those situations. So in those situations, my number one rule always is customer.
Mhm,
I always like to do what is beneficial to the customer. At the end of the day, I think customers see that value. They
mhm,
may not see at that point of time, but they will definitely see it as you go through the whole process of buying or selling.
mhm,
And they will trust you so much that they will go and refer you to so many people. For example, this announcement came that I was the number one agent in the US.
mhm.
I got so many messages, so many phone calls from my clients. I felt like as if they felt like they got this award. It's not
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I think that's the kind of trust we need to build with our customers. Always do what is right for them. Many a times it may not be the right thing for you. I'll
Mhm.
tell you, 3 out of 10 times or 5 out of 10 times it may not be the best thing for you, but always do what is best for them, and everything else will work out. The other aspect that I think is important is being very honest and transparent.
Mhm.
I know we are trying to make a sale, and sometimes we are all taught in sales and marketing that closing out is very important. Yeah, closing out is important, but in the home selling or buying process, it's important also for us to find a home that our clients are happy about.
Mhm.
My bottom line is happiness is the most important thing,
Mhm.
because they are going to live in the house, or they're going, when they sell, they want to get the most amount of money. So it's really important that happiness is the baseline for this. And so when you see something that is not right about the house, or when our clients are not making the right decision, even though you can close out on that and quickly move on to another customer, but never ever
Yeah, don't
not yeah,
compromise.
you should always tell them if there is something wrong, or if they are making a wrong decision, or if the house has a problem that you are aware of. Not that we know everything about, we are always learning every day, but
Yes.
whatever you should definitely tell them, and make sure that they are aware and make an informed decision.
Yes, yes, yes. I think that, there are no shortcuts, and that transparency and that honesty will always be the right decision for you and your clients ultimately. Well, Chandra, thank you so much for your time today. Huge congratulations again on just a wonderful achievement. And thank you for representing not only EXP, but our industry in such a positive and professional way. It's just a delight to be partnered with you here at EXP. And we wish you continued success as we continue out through 2025.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Wendy, for having me here.
You're
And
very
I can tell you, I really love working for EXP. It's the people that I love working with, all of my sponsorship team and the leadership team, and the Washington, managing brokerage team, as well as the Texas managing brokerage team and the support teams. I don't think I would have been able to do this without, all of these people. I think it takes a village, although I'm a solo agent, but I think all of you guys, are behind me and supporting me in various different ways. And that's what made me successful. So definitely huge thanks to the entire, EXP team that has been helping me and making this possible.
well. It's our pleasure. Thank you so much. And we'll throw it back to our hosts.